stock market portfolio update. Let's get straight into it. It's been a crazy week once again. It's just been a mental kind of ride at the moment, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested. Probably why the videos have also done quite well is because obviously my portfolio's done well, and probably people thinking, let's have a look at how it's doing. And there'll also be a lot of people seeing the stocks that I hold as well that are overvalued, and they're probably thinking and wanting to see it probably go down, because I know that's what people are like. Some people just sadly want to see you not succeed or do well, and there's also people that are here to support me, and a lot of you are here to support me, which I do really appreciate. Every single one of you that comes back to one of my videos. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, by the way, hit that subscribe button, because I know a good 60% of you guys, or even 70%, aren't subscribed. So hit that subscribe button to stay on track with my portfolio throughout the year and the upcoming years. So the first one is AMD, and people are thinking, whoa, why AMD? Well, I only own 0.05 shares, and the reason why I've done this is because I thought this would be quite a good idea to add into the stock videos, because in my Discord I've mentioned that I really do like AMD as a stock, and there's another one that I like. This is the thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want to buy another lot, like a big chunk of AMD. Let's say I put £2,000 worth of into AMD. I'd rather have that cash for when, let's say, one of my other stocks goes down. Let's say if PLTR drops to $40 or $35, I want to load up on that to have an even bigger position. Or same with SOFI, if it goes to $10 to $11, I want that cash to be able to buy into those stocks. And it's not because I think maybe they could do well. Yes, I believe they could do better in the long run, but I'm not saying AMD can't do well. Like, I think AMD's could really fly. It's just with the type of money I've got, the amount of capital I've got, there's no point buying 20 stocks, let's say, and you're spreading yourself in each single one, because you won't be able to maximize them gains, if you know what I mean. Whereas at this point in time, like the age I'm at, and also the type of money I'm working with, I want to just try and build that capital as quick as I can. I feel like if I've just got a few stocks, let's say 5 or 6, maximum really 5, I guess, but let's say 5 or 6, I can have bigger chunks of money in each stock. So when obviously, let's say it doubles in price and I had £1,000 in it, I'm only going to be having £2,000 in it. It's not that crazy. But if I start having 10, 20 grand in a stock, it means a lot more, and it's a lot of a bigger position. And I know that obviously comes with risk. You could also lose it. But that's why I also look into the companies and see how they are doing and how they're growing, and if there's obviously that potential to put the money in there. But anyway, I really like AMD, and I think they will do very well with the semiconductors, and they're just a bit of a dark horse in a way. And obviously Nvidia's taken the lead with it all, and I was watching a video with the CEO of AMD, and she's so smart and clever, and she's been with AMD for a very long time now. She's done very well to create where AMD is now, because at the time, 10 years ago, people were just writing off AMD completely and just not seeing it like succeed at all. But she's done very well, and they're going to have crazy growth. The EPS on AMD is going to be through the roof in the next year or two. So AMD is a good one to look into if you haven't already. But I've bought it now to just keep track of like where I was thinking a good price was, and yeah, so AMD, we can keep an eye on that throughout the portfolios. Apple, the good old Apple, we're down 4% on the week, nearly 5%, up 108%. This has had a bit of a fall actually, hasn't it? It's been kind of staying the same this month, because well, at one point it was nearly $260, but yeah, we're up 108% on Apple. I think I heard as well they've spent like $1 billion for the next, they spent $1 billion or something each year on designing the car that never actually happened for the last decade, and they've stopped they've stopped research and actually going ahead with making a car. But yeah, apparently it was $1 billion a year, which is mad really. FUBO stock, this has had a bit of a nice run slowly, and the last week 5%. We were down at the 120s at one point, high 120s, and I bought 100 shares I think at $1.29, so I bought 100 shares of that, but we're down 3% on FUBO. Obviously this is my speculative play, don't get me wrong, like that's why I've got the small amount in FUBO. But the problem, the good thing about FUBO is if they can start, like I say, in the quarters in their next earnings, show that they're getting closer to profitability, or showing like they can, which they have been, they're just burning quite a lot of money at the moment. If they can just keep growing and getting closer to profitability, and hoping to aim for the end of this year to be profitable, but it's very slim chance, more like 2026. But this is, once they can get to that, don't get me, like honestly, you could see this being a $5 to $10 stock once you start seeing that profitability. Grab, this is obviously my new play that I really like about Grab. It's like a super app, like Uber, but just a super app in a way. You can obviously get travel insurance, you can get your food delivered to your house, you can get your groceries, you can it's a payment app as well. You can send payments, you can order a ride like Uber, get a taxi, and they're so much cheaper. Hence why Uber can compete with Grab. So they decided to get 30% off the company themselves. And yeah, Uber just couldn't compete with Grab with the prices, and the way their app is, it's brilliant. And a lot of customers in Indonesia really do rate Grab, and they're another one where they're growing rapidly. And yeah, we'll start seeing good profits soon with Grab. Nike, so this is my next one that I really do rate of a company. You got 0.1 shares of this. And this, like, again, is like AMD. I want to see how it does. It's just a good way of keeping track for me and you when we watch these videos. It's in that stage, isn't it? Like, if you look over the years, it goes through stages once every 10 years or so, where they have these crazy drops in a way. Like if you go back in history of looking at the stock, sometimes it's gone down 30%, 40% over, like, and you have these big drops because of either growth isn't really growing as much as it used to, problems with CEOs, all sorts of things. And I think this is just a big buying opportunity at this point. But they got a new CEO now, and he's been within the company with Nike for a while, and I'm sure he did see a lot of downward and didn't agree with everything the previous CEO probably had and was doing. So now he's the CEO and he's already making changes. So Nike is just one really where, do you believe they're going to be here for the next 5 years, 10 years time? I believe they will be. Nike's just going to be an interesting one. I believe it's a buying opportunity, and we will see. Palantir had a crazy few days. We've got back to nearly $80, which is mad, up 337%. And this is just my controversial stock within my portfolio, because obviously I believed in this company when it was down in the dumps, like $7. And I was obviously getting a lot of hate at the time, which I do understand, because there were points where I was buying it when it was at that $25 and $26, and not really understanding valuations back when I was 21. So this is like 3-4 years ago. And now that I understand valuations a lot more, it literally makes me so annoyed that I was buying it at them prices. But regardless of that, and taking away the valuation of the company, I liked what they were doing as a company, and I could see the potential of what this company is bringing to other companies, and how good the reviews were from all the different companies that were using Palantir. It was just a software that no one could compete with. And obviously we've got a bit lucky with the whole AI boom. Palantir is an AI play in that sense. And yeah, like, it's just interesting how well Palantir has become and grown. And it's grown very, very well. It's just turned around very quickly, and their balance sheet's crazy. They've got so much money, so much cash on hand, which is also another benefit and plus with Palantir. And the fact they got into the S&P 500 and the QQQs, and that's why a lot of institutions have had to buy the shares at these prices. Hence why it's probably been staying at these prices, because of the amount of buying from institutions, not retail institutions. Retail were buying it at $7, $10, $20, $30. Institutions were buying it at $60, $70, $80. Yes, it's overvalued right now. And I will reiterate again, I don't want to trade the stock. I know people are saying sell the stock or sell half of the stock, take your profits, put it in like the S&P 500, and then buy back when Palantir goes down. And yes, if I could look into the future, and if I knew Palantir was going to drop to $40 or $50, then obviously I would do it. But then it just goes back to the whole trading, and that's not a long-term mindset. Like, Palantir's always been a long-term play for me. I would rather just buy in an average and keep buying into the stock and not care about selling now, buying back, because sometimes this is where then the human emotion will come in to play, and I could end up selling the stock now, waiting, maybe get FOMO and be like, I need to get back in because I'm missing out, or it does drop, but then it's dropping, let's say, to $60, and then it goes, and it just doesn't go to, let's say, the $40 mark that people were thinking it was going to, and then you're just waiting for that $40 that might never come, and then it goes back up to 80, and you're just not bought back in, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna have to buy at $70 or so. Yes, you can then say, well, then when it's going down, you could just start averaging in, but to be honest with you, I'll just rather just let it go and let it how it is. This is a long-term play for me. I know everyone will do it differently, and that's the beauty of the stock market. Everyone's just got their different ways of doing things, and this is just a long-term play for me. And yes, I'm expecting, like, I would not be shocked or surprised if it goes down to $40. So that's obviously half of the amount of money I've got in it now. So I am prepared for that mentally, and that's why I'm not going to be buying any more Palantir. The only time I will be buying more if it goes to $40, if it does, 45 or so. But apart from that, I won't be buying, and that's why I'm concentrating on my other stocks that we'll get into now. PayPal, I think this is a really, really wonderful, great company to be holding. It's undervalued still. The CEO that's come in is doing a great job. We'll also start seeing now what he's implemented, what he's trying to go for and do with PayPal. And yeah, we bought in at $52 a share. We're up 64% on PayPal. And when you break down and look at their guidance and go with their income growth, their net income growth, the revenues, you'll be able to see like where the share price should be. I believe it should be this year. We could get to $120 a share at the end of this year. Yeah, PayPal is a solid company to hold. SOFI, this is honestly one of my favorite stocks long term, as alongside Palantir. Palantir is always going to be my number one. It's just a shame that I can't be buying at these prices. They're just, like I said, I don't want to be buying at these prices. So I've moved on focus with SOFI at the moment until Palantir maybe drops. Like I said, SOFI is a big play that I want to get into. I want to get 1,000 shares. I ended up buying 40 shares, I believe, a few days ago when we had that drop. We had a big downgrade with SOFI. One of the analysts was downgrading it to $8 or $7, and a lot of people were just thinking, what? Like, this doesn't make any sense. This was the guy as well, by the way, who was saying not to buy SOFI and downgrading it before the massive run up that it's had with SOFI as well. So you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Don't always think they are right, because not all the time they are. Like, sometimes they're just not. But the growth is just crazy with SOFI. Let's have a look as well. So this is a little projections guide with SOFI that I've done, going off their guidance, what they're predicting, and yeah, it could be. This is my base case. Yeah, this is my base case. No, it is, because I do believe SOFI is going to be a top 10, top 5 bank in the future. So I've got them growing at 20% a year up until 2028, and then it goes to 15%. And then their net income growth of 100%, then 80, 60, and then 40. So then that means in 2026, I've got it at $37 and $47, and then 2027, $51, $67. So up until 2029, it could hit $76 or $132, depending on what you're pricing it at with the PE ratio. So yeah, we're up 82% on SOFI, and like I said, I want to be buying another 300 shares to get that 1,000 share mark with SOFI, because that would be great if I can, if not even more, to be honest. But my plan is to put £1,500 a month away into whatever at the time, at the end of the month, whatever the best price is, the stocks that I hold. So if SOFI's at a good price, I'll buy it there. If Grab's at a better price, I'll buy Grab. If Palantir at the time's a better price, I'll buy Palantir. Or Tesla, vice versa. So Tesla is the next one. Got 39 shares of this, and I'm up 97% on it. And this could have a good year. Tesla could have a good year. We could see a $600 Tesla by the end of this year, I believe. Obviously, depending on how things go. Their deliveries, they actually missed on their deliveries, which is not a massive deal because they're not a car company. And obviously, at the moment, they're a car company, but they're going to be more than a car company in the future. You're almost buying into the valuation of what the autonomous driving is going to be, the robots that they've got with Optimus. So you're kind of buying into that for their future valuation. Their energy grew a lot. Their energy grew a lot from what they reported a few days ago. So that's a very good positive. That's a really, really good positive, actually. But yeah, Tesla, I really do believe in this company. This is a solid company. Like, if this price goes down anymore, I would buy it. To be honest with you, even Tesla in general, like, if SOFI is just way too extended or overvalued, or any of the other stocks that I hold, like I said, if I'm putting 1,500 a month away, it'll just go into Tesla, even at this price, because Tesla's just a very solid play to go with, in my opinion. So that means at the end, I've got a total of £71,500 in my portfolio with a return of 136% at this moment in time. If you did enjoy the video, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in my next video.